Deathknell is a village in the western hills of Tirisford Glades and is the starting area for the Forsaken, led by the Banshee Queen Sylvanas. Prior to the Scourge invasion, the village was known as Valdemar Village and unwittingly played host to undercover members of the Cult of the Damned. When Arthas Menethil arrived to recruit the cult to aid him in resurrecting Kel'Thuzad, he destroyed the village and turned its villagers into the undead. As we journey through Lordaeron, we will discover a wealth of lore and relations between characters, as the effect of the Lich King was far-reaching. During Classic, the classes available to the undead are Mage, Priest, Warlock, Warrior, and Rogue. Hunters were added in Cataclysm, and Monks added in Mist of Pandaria. The village is split into two parts. The Forsaken-controlled south end includes the chapel, and the Scourge-controlled north end includes the inn and forge. To the northwest is the Nightweb Hollow gold mine, overrun by Nightweb spiders. South of the village is the cemetery, including the Shadow Grave. To the southeast is the Scarlet Crusade encampment, a religious sect bent on eliminating all undead, regardless of whether they're still controlled by the Lich King. Prior to Cataclysm, we awaken free of Arthas' control inside a tomb. Outside we're greeted by Undertaker Mordo, who refers us to the main village. Inside the chapel we find Shadow Priest Sarvis. Our aid is needed in the battle with the Scourge to kill zombies, ghouls and skeletons. We're then given a scroll to introduce us to our class trainer, in a quest later removed in Legion. Warlocks have another class quest to summon their first imp by collecting Rattlecage skulls for Vanya Marthand and completing the ritual. The other NPCs in Deathknell are Maximilian, the Warlock trainer, Kayla Smith, the Demon trainer, Dark Cleric Dustin, the Priest trainer, Isabella, the Mage trainer, Novice Elref, Sarvis' assistant, Harold Rains, Blacksmith Rand, Joshua Keane, Archibald Caver, Claire Willower, Markel Ebenwood, Danal Stern, the Warrior trainer, a possible relative of Angus Stern, a famous chef in Stormwind, and David Trias, the Rogue trainer and likely relation of Lucian and Elling Trias, humans with links to SI-7, the Stormwind secret intelligence. The area is protected by the Death Guards, led by Death Guard Saltane. A notable member of the Death Guard here is Randolph. He has two possible relatives in the Argent Dawn, Vincent and George. The Argent Dawn is a group who broke away from the Scarlet Crusade, as they didn't agree with the overzealous behaviour toward the Forsaken. Discovering a Forsaken relative may be the influence that led to these men leaving the Crusade. Back to the quests, and Novice Elreth requests Scavenger Paws and Duskbat Wings. Her next request is a sad one. Her friend Marla Phipps was killed by her own husband Samuel when he became part of the Scourge. Her dying wish was to be buried with her beloved, but the only problem is he's still undead and mindless. When we track him down and kill him, we bury him with Marla in the graveyard. Next, Executor Aaron needs us to clear the mine of spiders, but to beware of the Nightweb Matriarch. Our focus is then turned to the Scarlet Encampment, where we collect armbands as proof of death, and ambush their messenger, Mevin Corgel, and retrieve the Scarlet documents. Aaron then needs us to take the papers to Executor Zygand in Brill. On our way out of Deathknell, we meet Calvin Montague, who has a letter for the Brill innkeeper, Renee. Turns out Calvin owes Renee money, so we're tasked with shaking him down for it. After beating him into submission, he pays us, and we can truly begin our adventure in the rest of Tirisfal Glades. There is a family of bankers in Undercity called Montague, and it could be that Calvin is the black sheep of the clan. If our adventure starts post-Cataclysm, we begin as a Forsaken, risen by the Valkyr Agatha. Mordo needs our help. Some of the new Forsaken are in poor condition. With the aid of our bodyguard Darnell, we find a thick embalming fluid and corpse stitching twine so he can fix them up. Many of the newly risen cannot accept their fate and have run off in the direction of the former Scarlet Encampment. Caretaker Case asks if we could speak to 3 of the new undead to help them acclimate to their new unlives. Marshal Marcus Redpath was the former leader of the human town of South Shore, until it was destroyed by the Forsaken. The Third War was brutal to the Redpath family, killing Joseph, Marlene, and little Pamela, with only Jessica and Carlin now surviving. Marcus will not serve Sylvanus and runs off, threatening to create his own faction of undead. Valdred Moray is confused to wake up with hands, as his last memory was having them chopped off by an orc and being left to die. The orc was sent by Raleigh Andrian, a Forsaken in Undercity. He discovered that after his first death, his wife Delia was murdered by Valdred and orchestrated his vengeance, and now has the hands as trophies. Valdred is oblivious to Raleigh's part in his killing, and we let him believe the hands are his own and sewn back on. Lillian Voss refuses to accept her undeath and runs away in terror, claiming her father will protect her from us abominations. We will later find out she is the daughter of High Priest Benedictus of the Scarlet Crusade, and we will meet Lillian many times later in the game. There are 2 new trainers for the new classes: Xavier the Hunter Trainer with his pet Pavlova, and Ting, strong of stomach, the Pandaren Monk Trainer, whom Archibald Carver repeatedly tries to poison. Death Guard Saltane orders us to collect corpses of Scarlet Crusaders, and Darnell helps us to carry them back. Sarvis tasks us with killing Scourge, while Elrith gives us a hand mirror to help Lillian with her transition. Lillian is cowering in the Scourge-controlled inn, and on seeing her reflection, she flees again, screaming that she cannot possibly be undead. Executor Aaron asks us for scavenger paws, duskbat wings, and to clear out the mine of spiders. On returning from Nightweb Hollow, we find out that Darnell has discovered alarming news. Marshal Redpath was true to his word and has rallied the rebellious undead and taken over the Rotbrain camp. We head to the camp, thin the numbers of undead, and assassinate Marshal Redpath. Back at the chapel, we're greeted by Darnell, who's been promoted to the Death Guards, and Sarvis has a dispatch for us to deliver to Death Guard Simmer at the Calston estate. We finally leave Deathknell and head to Tirisfal Glades, which has been devastated by the siege of Lordaeron during the battle for Azeroth.
This one shows promise. The whispers lure her toward her fate.